good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. So glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've joined Bob and I here on Jar of Marbles.
Yes, I'm so pleased.
You sound really, really happy.
I am.
That's good. Thank you again for joining us. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about mindset and validation. There's a lot of jive around mindset.
Oh, yes, jive talking. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, Bob. Now, how we come about being really conscious about our mindset usually takes, let's see, for want of another word, a series of interesting experiences. And if we don't have a coach or someone to guide us or someone to talk freely with, we might even miss the bus in knowing that we have a massive say in our mindset. The creation of a mindset is very much the sculpting of the inner framework.
Very poetic.
Well, it is. Creating a mindset is akin to sculpting a masterpiece.
Oh, yes, my brain is a masterpiece, so I so get that.
It requires intentionality and, most importantly, a clear vision of the desired outcome. Just as a sculptor begins with a raw block of marble, each of us starts with a set of unshaped beliefs.
I heard the word marble there.
Yeah, I thought your ears might have pricked up there. And we also have our own perspectives and habits and...
Well, I accidentally took the cat's medicine the other day. Don't ask me how.
And so what emerges depends on our choices, actions, and the narratives we feed our minds daily.
It is that, isn't it? What we feed our minds.
Yep, it absolutely is, Bob. And with the mix is to check on your boundaries. Too many need permission to establish boundaries for themselves. I'm hoping this will give you the courage to do just that. We all need gentle reminders.
Hey, what do you call a deaf gynecologist? A lip reader.
Oh, Bob. Hashtag mindset and self-validation. Like if you invite someone into your house and they start breaking things on purpose, jumping on your furniture, telling you that they hate your decor, you don't have to dislike them, but you might not invite them over again.
That would be a no, thank you.
You know, Bob, you've got to stop being such a damn cutie patootie, all right?
I can't quit. It's just who I am. I'm a cutie patootie. I know you want me to quit it, but I can't because I'm cutie and I'm a patootie.
Oh dear. Boundaries are doing the same, except your home is your mind in this case. And I would say that your home is in your heart. These kinds of lines in the sand can perhaps signify closure for you too. And closure can be signalled by many things. The lack of respect might have been the closure. The lack of apology, the lack of accountability was the closure. The lack of care might have been the closure. Perhaps the lack of honesty.
What's the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Well, that's awfully presumptuous of you to assume that I've peaked.
Yeah.
One thing that helped me was realising how truly comfortable they are with their awful behaviour.
Yeah.
Right? So when they don't change their behaviour, when they avoid listening,
Oh boy, that's the worst.
that tells you that they are fine with being the way they are. They have fully accepted themselves for who they are. In their mind and their followers, that, I was the problem, you could be the problem, not them. But once I realised this, then I knew that if I kept returning for more of the same, then in a way they are correct. I am the problem if I keep showing up for it, returning again and again and expecting change. The best choice in this instance for everyone is to walk away and just let them be. While this can be incredibly hard to hear, it has to be and is sort of the refreshing side to it.
I used to say to my kids, when these shitty things happen, the first time is the other's fault. You didn't see it coming, but if you keep returning for more, then it's your fault.
That's right, Bob. Correct. And fortunately, that resonated. As most of us have struggled, or you may be struggling with accepting that people don't want to change or take accountability, can't imagine not wanting to reflect. But these thoughts do not ever reflect. Once you've given the benefit of the doubt many times, over and over, then it becomes a block that points to moving on.
Moving on.
That's right. Sometimes, dwellers, we've got to let go of what has let go of us.
That's not funny. What I actually meant to do was this. No, wasn't meant to do that. I was meant to do this. Oh, hell yeah, that's right.
You right there, Bob?
Yeah, just pressed the wrong button.
Defining mindset is more than just a collection of thoughts. It's a framework through which we interpret the world and navigate our experiences. It shapes how we respond to challenges, it influences our emotions, and determines whether we view opportunities as attainable or distant dreams. It's built over time through experiences, reinforced by our own self-talk and solidified by our habits.
Oh, yeah.
Self-talk, it's a biggie.
Yeah.
If I have learnt anything, the value of self-talk is everything, because so many of us have had shitful relationships and how we were spoken to, whether it was our parents when they disapproved or partners. Their words can be the way we speak to ourselves in our heads.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. So that has to be replaced with something else, something more understanding and kind that we would offer a friend or our children. Got to use our smarts because we've got that in spades. It may have just been knocked around a bit, knocked out of us perhaps. And if we've been in abusive relationships, and let's face it, the numbers are diabolical, the hardest thing after abuse is learning to validate yourself. And that's because you spent so much time relying on another person to be half decent to you or waiting for them to tell you how you should feel and what you should think.
Yuck.
Exactly. And when you reach a conclusion on your own, it feels like something is missing, that you're missing something. That is especially why it is important to learn to self-validate. Like not once, we're talking as often as you can remember and every day. The learning to self-validate, that is a trip of sorts right there. To learn to listen to your own inner wisdom instead of external validation. It is empowering to believe in your own experiences without needing another to confirm it. When we learn self-validation, it breaks all sorts of cycles in our lives.
You know, we put a man on the moon 50 years ago.
Yeah, but why did we stop? We could have them all up there by now.
Oh, hey, I'm a man. Yeah.
Cycles like dependency on toxic individuals who undermine your reality, but how to self-validate. Talking to a specialist, a counsellor who specialises in codependency, trauma bond recovery would give so many coping skills and steps over time to implement into your day today, give you your confidence back. But to start with the confidence, with the practice of soothing yourself at that moment when you start to feel overwhelmed. Sitting or lying quietly and slow down your breathing by breathing deeper and slower. Tell yourself you're just doing the best that you can right now. I have to recommend, if you can't get to a specialist, there is so much good stuff on YouTube, and the information and meditations that are there, food for thought and calming words, has helped me immensely over the years. Audiobooks and the like to help myself develop, and it's always helpful to be the instigator in helping yourself where you can. A little is better than nothing. And this is a good move to implement, as my cousin says, that when she's trending on the negative side, everything is much more difficult.
Oh, yeah, love that.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely right. I know what it's like to be alone and feel like there's nowhere to turn. And sometimes it wasn't a feeling, it was simply how it was. And I had no choice but to find answers, as I could see I was slipping into feeling quite lost, and I hated it. I don't know what I hated more, that I was lost or I was letting myself be lost or believe that I was lost. Those 20, 30 years ago were very new concepts, and I bit by bit started applying what I had discovered to myself, even as simple as affirmations. I remember after believing that I had lost everything I owned financially, left with 3 kids to raise and zero support from anyone, suddenly I went from owning a successful business outright to being a single parent on a pension, no assets, and had been left for dead and had been ripped off by my so-called family and dear friends. It was diabolical, and yet that was the crux of it. I had to think of my kids, my beautiful, smart, lovely children, and get very sure about how I was going to be a role model while dying inside. At least that's how it felt. I was angry and so deeply sad inside, and I had to somehow process all of that while being a present mum. It wasn't actual fact a massive blessing.
Here we go, the big reveal.
No, it was just time for me to wake up. But it occurred to me I had been trained for this kind of treatment, that it had been like this for as long as I could remember in varying degrees. They all saw me coming.
My therapist told me to write letters to the people I hate, then burn them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's all done, but I don't know what to do with the letters.
So, yes, there comes a time for some of us where instead of sucking it all up, you have to choose between turning the page and closing the book. I just shut down the whole bloody library.
Oh, yeah!
That's right.
Yeah!
That's right, Bob. I put a lot of years into a few paragraphs here, but to give you context, I was as poor as a church mouse, but my kids didn't know because the house was always clean, furniture I found, there was always food on the table. The kids thought we were rich. We became accidental vegetarians because, well, I couldn't afford meat. We didn't have a fridge. I didn't have a vacuum cleaner. On my hands and knees, cleaning the carpet by hand. Did a bloody good job too. We were on our own. Initially, it is pretty ordinary to find yourself in that position when last week you were the best thing since sliced bread, but
Oh, thank Rob, there's a but.
I decided that I just had to move past all the deception, go into forgiveness mode because I didn't want to have to pay for it.
What do you mean?
Well, if I held a grudge, I'm paying for it. We don't have to be friends, but it's forgiven and we move on. I had no time or requirement to hold on to grudges. I did, though, decide I was going to tell myself good things. And over time, I was able to hold my head up and be happy to simply be enchanted by this life. And bit by bit, I included myself in the enchantment.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it was. And let's face it, life is pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
I realised, amongst 1,000 other things, that my self-validation was not based on what others thought of me, good or bad. What mattered was how I thought of me. That was a major realisation, and it still makes complete sense to this day. It's calming and it feels sweet in my heart.
I pulled a nose hair out to see if it hurt. Judging by the reaction of the man asleep next to me on the bus, seems pretty painful.
Love is the meaning in life, to allow love in, to give love to other people. In amongst saving myself, my kids saved me. I was so lucky to have these 3 lovely kids to love, have fun with and be infinitely proud of. The other stuff just didn't get a look in eventually. Once I looked at all the caca, and what was I to do with any of it?
What to do?
Yeah, but turn my back on it and look at who was right in front of me. That's right.
Shazam!
That's right, because after surviving narcissistic abuse, it highlighted everything that was good in my life, whether it was complimenting others out there in the world, and it feels good to make others feel good. Surviving narcissistic abuse often teaches us the power of kindness and empathy, and for a while there I had learnt the value of showing it to myself, to heal, and to continue extending kindness to others. Anything that annoys you is ultimately teaching you patience, and that's where you can see the lesson. This is a goodie. Anyone who abandons you is teaching you how to stand up on your own 2 feet.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, thoughts like this stop victim thinking coming into it. Anything that makes you angry teaches compassion and forgiveness. And anything that has power over you is teaching you to take your power back. And I love this one too. Anything that you fear is teaching you unconditional love. Just as anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go. Sometimes you've got to hit the restart button and rebuild your life.
Yeah, that's right, rebuild. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Bob. The problem is everyone is looking for unconditional love, carrying a bag full of conditions.
Oh, yeah, there it is. That's exactly what it is.
Well, it can be, yeah. The meaning of life is different to all of us. Our purpose is different among individuals. I think when we can find meaning, we can sure get our mindset chugging along healthily. The old meaning of life is giving meaning to our lives.
Mine is chocolate and butter and champagne.
Oh, nice, Bob. It could be sharing your stories. It could be many wonderful things that helped others and helps ourselves. 2 commonly discussed types of mindsets are fixed mindset and a growth mindset. These sorts can be very tricky. The fixed mindset ones, this is a belief system that sees abilities, intelligence and talents as static traits. People with fixed mindset avoid challenges, give up easily and feel threatened by the success of others, while the growth mindset is where abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. Those with a growth mindset embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and view effort as a path to mastery. So the blueprint for creating a mindset. Creating a mindset isn't an overnight transformation.
Of course it isn't. No, it wouldn't be, would it? No.
It's a process of rewiring how we think. I think we don't talk enough about the in-between spaces, that space and part where you know you want to change something but you don't know how, and you're not quite ready to start putting what you know to be true into action. Maybe you don't feel strong enough, or you don't know what your first step is. So to you, the ones who are in between, don't be disheartened and please don't give up. You've done the hard part. Now it's baby step at a time.
How can you tell if a clown farted? Smells funny.
Meanwhile,
back in the jungle.
here's a step-by-step approach to constructing a mindset that empowers. First of all, I'd say maybe clarify your vision. Begin with clear intention. What kind of mindset do you want to build? Write it down. There's so much power in just writing down how it is you want to think, how you want to be. Think of someone you admire. What is the qualities that they have that you go, yeah, I'd really like to be sure-footed or be more funny or be more brighter or calmer. This could be a mindset focused on creativity, self-compassion, or ongoing improvement. Have a clear vision provides a target to aim for.
For Christmas, I want a dragon.
Be realistic.
Okay, I want a girlfriend.
Okay, what colour dragon do you want?
Yeah.
It's a really good idea to identify limiting beliefs. It will always be of great interest to me to examine your current beliefs, thoughts, and automatic responses. And again, writing them down, and then you go back to read it can be so interesting. So there lies some things that need
Tweaked?
Yeah, tweaked for sure. What do you tell yourself when you face failure? Do you call yourself names under your breath? What narratives replay in moments of uncertainty? What fears do you scare yourself with? These limiting beliefs form the backbone of a mindset that holds you back. Awareness is the first step to breaking them down, and honestly, breaking them down always makes them disappear, which enables you to reframe your perspective. Take those limiting beliefs and actively reframing them into empowering ones. For instance, replace "I'm not good at this" with "I'm still learning," and that's okay. Reframing isn't about denying challenges, but changing how you interpret them. It's shifting from "I failed" to "this experience is teaching me something valuable." Feels so much better in your nervous system, and that in turn feels comforting.
Hey, where do bad rainbows go? Prism. Don't worry, it's a light sentence, just enough time to reflect. Get it? Reflect.
Yes, righto, Bob. Build habits that reinforce the mindset. Your mindset is not just built by thoughts, but also by action.
Oh yes, I'm an action man, yes.
Consistency and practice solidifies the mindset you want to cultivate. If you're aiming for a growth mindset, seek out small daily challenges to stretch your abilities and reflect on your progress. We just found out my husband will have to be on oxygen for the rest of his life because of how much I take his breath away.
Oh, God, fathers.
If you want a mindset of gratitude, build a habit of listing 3 things you're grateful for every evening. It's amazing how you might struggle with there, but it's a really helpful tool, but how many people will ever do it? I know when I first started doing it, I thought, I'm grateful for my bed. Whatever it is, because maybe you really are grateful for your bed. But there are the little things that break bad thinking habits, interrupts the bad habit of feeling bad.
Well, I like that.
I know. Surround yourself with positive influences. Our environment and the people we engage with significantly impact our mindset.
Do you think I've got big muscles?
Oh, yeah.
Like, look how I can flex them. See?
Yeah, thanks for that, Bob.
It's all right.
Surround yourself with individuals, content and environments that reflect the mindset you want to embody. This could mean reading books that inspire, listening to uplifting podcasts,
Yeah, Jarrett Marbles.
or seeking mentors who exemplify your desired mindset.
Yeah, like I said, Jarrett Marbles.
Yeah, good on you, Bob.
No, but seriously, I do have big muscles, don't I?
Yep, they're massive. Cultivate self-awareness. Consistently check in with yourself. What mindset is driving your current behaviour?
Yeah, but how big are they?
Your muscles? Yeah, look, Bob, I will put you in a trunk and help people look for you. Stop playing with me. So, are you reacting from a place of empowerment or fear? Self-awareness is a tool that helps course correct and refine the mindset you're working to create.
Adam and Eve were the first ones to ignore the Apple terms and conditions. Get it? Terms and conditions, funny, eh?
Yes, Bob. Embrace imperfection and growth. Building a mindset doesn't mean that every day will be perfect. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and days when old patterns re-emerge. It's part of the deal on this planet. Good thing it won't last forever. None of it will, actually.
Hey, what's the difference between ignorance and apathy? I don't know, and I don't care.
The key is to view these moments as part of the process, not as failures. All a part of the journey and the lesson it brings.
You know, I was thinking today, people who take care of chickens are literally chicken tenders.
Good thought there, Bob.
I was also thinking how it's funny how the world doesn't open up and swallow you when you need it to.
So true, Bob. The role of self-talk is so very important. A key component of mindset creation is self-talk. The language we use internally shapes our reality. Self-talk can act as either a coach or a critic, guiding or sabotaging our efforts. We all know this, so which are you going to do? To create a mindset that supports our growth and well-being, we must become conscious of our inner dialogue and actively choose language that aligns with our vision. Creating a mindset is only the beginning. Sustaining it is where the real work lies.
Sometimes I think I'm a lazy person.
Well, Bob, you'll never be as lazy as whoever named the fireplace. That's quite good.
Yeah.
So keep up your daily practices. Reinforce the mindset through affirmations, mindfulness, exercises, and conscious reflection. Small, consistent practices are more effective than sporadic grand efforts. Adapt and evolve. Mindsets are not rigid constructs. They should evolve as you grow. Regularly evaluate whether your mindset still serves you and be willing to refine it if need be. Creating a mindset is an act of intentional self-design.
Oh, yes.
Please take care of your heart and your spirit. You are worth something. You are worth time and kindness, boundaries and love.
We're going, aren't we?
Yes, Bob, it's time to fly. Thank you to you for joining us. We really appreciate your company.
Yeah, we do.
So, say good day to the family for me. Give the German Shepherd a little cuddle and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye.
Bye.